Hey, Destination Declutterers. I have an idea that I want to share with you today to help you on your journey to getting decluttered and staying that way. So, if you follow me on Retro Roadmap, you may have heard me talk about this concept of mine uh, with regards to specific literal travel in your life. However, I realized on my purposeful walk this morning that it really applies to decluttering and anything you really want to do in your life. So let me explain this, and I just want to offer think about it and think of where you are in this process and why you're there and what's happening there and how this applies to you. Okay? So here's what I talk about when I talk about travel. I talk about the four seasons of it, not Frankie Valley, but the four kind of seasons, the four stages of travel, and also I will apply it to decluttering. So the first one is thinking about it, just in your head, sitting there. Oh, I really would love to get decluttered. Gosh, this place is a mess. Wow, wouldn't it be so much better if I didn't have all this stuff around me? But this is all just thinking about it. This is the dreaming of going on your vacation. This is the dreaming part of the process. Now, this is an important part of the process. It is because this is when you realize something you want something different. You want to go somewhere different, or you know that what is going on with your clutter and stuff isn't working for you. If it was working for you, you wouldn't have the thoughts that I really should be working on this, because you would think it was fine. That's okay. So the dreaming part is an important part. And in the kind of just drive your life approach that I love to share with people, because it's such a powerful, simple mantra to remind yourself to do the things you want to do, is this is almost like you in your car. Picture it. You're in your car in the driver's seat, but the key isn't in the ignition. You're sitting there thinking, I want to go there. I want to go there. This is great. I'm going to go there someday. I'm going to research. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But your car's not started and you're really just in your driveway, right? That's the dreaming. That's the thinking part of it. Now, the crazy thing is you can be in that part of the process literally for your entire life. Thinking, not doing, okay? But then there's part two. Part two is when you make a decision to start. And that sounds so simple, and really it is so simple, but sometimes it can seem scary. So what do I mean by this? I mean by you just saying to yourself, you know what? I've been talking about it. I'm going to start doing it. And then you just start. With your decluttering, you set your timer for 20 minutes a day, and you start with the easy stuff, the peasy stuff. And then at the end of the 20 minutes, you congratulate yourself. You say, oh my gosh, check me out. I said what I was going to do. I decluttered my house. Now, I know it's not going to take 20 minutes to get decluttered. Maybe it will. But you didn't get cluttered in 20 minutes. You're not gonna get decluttered in 20 minutes. It's like it doesn't take you, like, however much you wish it was going to take you just a few hours to drive from Chicago to LA. It just doesn't happen that way. But that's okay. And in the Just Drive Your Life portion of this, think about this as the crucial part in your car where you're sitting there, and then you've got the key. You've got the key in your hand, and you turn on your ignition, right? And you start the engine, and then you back out of the driveway, and you drive for 20 minutes closer to where you want to go to, right? So that decision, that just deciding, it doesn't have to be a big momentous day. It could be, like, for example, when I'm recording this today, this is Daylight Savings Time Day. So you could say, I'm going to start on Daylight Savings Time Day. You could also say, okay, I'm going to start at noontime today. Or I'm going to start my journey at 3 o'clock in the afternoon today. Or tomorrow morning at 7. Whatever you decide, that's only a thought until you actually show up and turn on the key, right? So I know some of you are there because you just haven't started yet, and that is okay. What I want to encourage you to do is just start. And I say that like this because it can be a grand thing and you make all these plans and whatever, or you can just Not tell anybody, turn on the timer, just start for yourself, okay? So that's one, thinking about it, no key in the ignition. Two is thinking about it, doing something about it, turning on the ignition, the key, you've got the key, starting on your journey. The third is the journey itself, so I'm like, oh, there we go, I'm getting better. Wait, what finger is that? Nope, wrong one. So that's you on your journey. And see all these little dots to there? That's the third part. That's the journey. That's you showing up and starting every day. You do this in your life right now with your car, right? You get out into your car, you put the key in the ignition, you turn it, you start, you drive somewhere. You go to, you go to work, you go to do errands, you go on a road trip, whatever. But you get out in your car, and every day you are able to turn on the key and get to where you want to go to. Same thing with decluttering. Just deciding every day, recommitting yourself to that life you want to live, and saying, I'm gonna show up again today and do some decluttering. Every time you do that, you, without fail, it is impossible to not get closer, not get closer to your destination. If you show up every day, you are bound to do it. Every day you drive closer to Palm Springs, California, you will get closer to Palm Springs, California, and further away from where you started. That's the journey. That's the road trip. That's the showing up every day, the bumpy roads, the easy roads. And that's usually where I come in as a coach. I help you. I remind you. I encourage you to remind yourself of how important your dreams are, your dream destination, right? Then the fourth part of this season, the fourth part of the journey is getting there. You arrive. Suddenly you're not decluttering anymore. You're just decluttered, right? And you live in a house that is no longer cluttered because along the way, you have learned how to get decluttered and stay that way. That's what I help with. But once you're there, think about it. Don't you want to get to there? Don't you want to just be decluttered? The only way you can do that is to start, right? And then once you're there, I will never get this right. Once you're there, you can hang out for as long as you want in that decluttered state, right? You can just revel in it. Every day that you wake up and say, I don't have to do a massive decluttering, that I just need to do a few dribs and drabs every day and my house stays decluttered and I have time to do the things I want to do because I'm not spending all my time thinking about decluttering or getting there, things like that. It will give you the time to do it. So I share this with you because I'm not sure where you are on your journey, and maybe you aren't either. But what I offer to you is, I don't know how better to say it, but just start. Start with your decluttering. Start with anything you want to do with your life. These same 4 stages apply to it. And if you are stuck and you say, I don't know how, or there are roadblocks in my way, and I just can't get started, or I start and then I stop, and then I start and then I give up, that's where I come in. I am here to help you. That's all. I love being the co-pilot. I love helping people. I've been there. I've been the one struggling. And so now I'm like, I almost said dude. I'm like, dude, I am there with you. I know how to get there and I know how to show up every day. And so I can teach you this so that when you get to that destination of being decluttered, you will have the skills to use that approach to do anything you want in your life. So powerful, so fun, so simple, okay? So whenever you hear this message, I just want to offer to you, please just take a moment and say, where am I on this journey? And how can I get closer to where I want to go to? And if it's setting up a consultation with me so we can see where you are and why you're there and then where you want to go, easy peasy lemon squeezy, people. Just, respond to the email that you got this from or get in touch. Set up a consultation. I've got a calendar on my website. I try to make it as easy as possible for you to get in touch with me so we can have a talk and we can seriously and excitedly get you going towards where you want to go. Okay? So remember, life is a road trip, and just drive your life and just drive to your destination decluttered. All right. Speaking of road trips and things like that, just as an FYI, next week you're going to get this message from someplace else because I'm going to be on the road because I know how to drive my life towards both the decluttered and the wonderful travel adventures. So look for a different background, but I show up for you much like I show up for my clients, and I will see you next week. All right.